We are in Oregon at Leupold headquarters.
So Leupold has this grad school. So what is Leupold Grad School?
Leupold put on a graduate program for SCHEELS employees, taking some of our experts from our stores, just really dive into the brand, what they're all about, what they have to offer.
And they were nice enough to just kind of let us do their factory, take a peek at kind of the behind the scenes of how their stuff is made, what they put into it, all the work and actual hands-on stuff that they have there.
What's really cool about Leupold is that their rifle scopes are made in the USA. Like everything is right there in Beaverton, Oregon. And just seeing how that facility worked was super cool. I mean, there was a lot of like American flags and just how tight of a ship they operated there and how clean everything was. It was like pretty wild.
Does SCHEELS get to be a part of this? Is it every year?
Yeah, they do host it every year.
Okay.
There'll be different associates that go.
Right.
But yeah, they host it every year.
Which gives like all of our experts this firsthand knowledge and experience and the skills to help our customers.
Yeah, it just translates to the customers super easily.
Exactly. And the people that train can take it back to their stores and then
they teach everyone else.
Do product knowledge meetings, basically show them everything that they learn.
It's one thing to get the information from an email or a post or a website, but then when you're actually there on the range, looking through the binos or the scopes when it's low light, being able to take that firsthand experience and try to show that to the rest of your associates at the store, mind-blowing compared to just reading something. They actually have a sweet range in their factory that Mike took a video of.
Oh, it was so cool. They have this like armory that had a whole bunch of lockers with
Literal
just
armory.
guns and guns, and then you turn and then there's this lane.
Yeah, it was 100 yards all underground.
Yeah, 100-yard underground bunker range kind of thing. And then they had this shooting table that had this like computer on it, which would like show where you hit and like ballistics and all this stuff. And then you press a button and then the table like shifts over and then you can like walk down the range.
It's the ultimate man cave.
Oh yeah.
Like ultimate man
Ultimate.
cave. A literal armory. It was super cool.
So factory tour, amazing. Then you make the trek to the range.
Which was amazing in itself.
Amazing. Just the trek, okay.
Then, the range was basically, Leupold's got this, I wouldn't even call it a facility, but it's just a big chunk of land basically that they have what they call the schoolhouse set up on one of the top hills, and that's where they have kind of like their product trainings at the range. That's where they have their indoor stuff, a couple little classrooms, and their armory at the range basically. But then they have a couple different sections like long range hunting, long range tactical, right? Was it tactical?
Yep.
Yeah, and then like some AR stuff, some handgun stuff, like every direction you look, there's something to look at and shoot.
I mean, if you were to throw out a number, how many targets do you think were out there?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's gotta be more than 300.
Yeah, 300 was the number that came to mind for me too. Everywhere from, your pistol stuff, which was at 20 yards to 1 mile. High point of the trip was probably me hitting a target at 1,100 yards.
Okay.
Because the farthest I'd ever shot was like 400, 450.
Wow.
And just getting down, getting behind a gun. And their longer range stuff, they usually had like little lights on the side that would show if it hit or not. And this one had a green light on the side. And I remember squeezing that trigger and looking through and then waiting that like 1 or 2 seconds. Because, I mean, it takes a little while for a bullet to travel that far. And then seeing that little green light up, it's like, yeah.
That was one of the biggest takeaways for me is I'd never I'd only shot to like I think 800 or 900 in my life. So everything past that was crazy to me. But the holdover for the wind and stuff, I'd never had to do that. Like I've dialed a little bit for the wind in the longer shots that I've done, just target shooting. But like to physically hold your crosshairs, like
you got your scope and then you've got like all those little tick marks to the side. Well, usually like before in any situation, I've never had to hold more than like 2 of those little tick marks. But like when we were doing the mile one, I was holding that like 4.5 MOA.
Like you can
so
barely
that's
see the
like
target.
There's like 5 tick marks and then there's like a bigger one and that's 1 MOA. So I had to hold like 4.5 of them over.
Wow.
So it was like that bullet's traveling a long ways just sideways.
Right.
And that's not even factoring in the up and down. So,
Sure.
I mean, that's already dialed. So you just have to adjust for your wind.
Okay, so they taught you all of this.
And some of the associates, like Mike was saying, like come in with a good bit of knowledge of long range shooting in general.
And it's their
more of-
passion.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So-
more of like a product focused, like hands-on stuff. But some people, like, I mean, me specifically, and I'm sure a bunch of other people too, like haven't shot a lot of long range. So like everything was just pretty eye-opening, especially being able to actually hold the camera and capture it that way, but then also to get to do it sometimes. That was
Yeah,
pretty
for
sick.
sure. Because like I spent a majority of the time, filming stuff, but then it's like, okay, we got a sufficient amount of things filmed.
It's my turn.
It's my turn to hop behind the gun now. So there's 6 different sessions
Okay.
that we did on the rifle range portion of it. We had long range tactical, long range hunting, carbine or AR shooting, pistol, observation, and then the last one was mounting and accessories. Each section, had a group, and then we'd rotate and whatnot. Each time a section would like shift, they would clean up all the brass, and there was like more than a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah, pails.
Wow.
Every section.
Pails full.
It was just wild. So I really enjoyed just like learning about safety and form and procedures in the all of the different sections too, especially the carbines. Like I've shot AR, but I haven't shot a ton of it, and just like going through all of that was really cool, especially some of the exercises we did. Like one of my favorites was,
I hope this is the same one I'm thinking of.
yeah, we'd start with a clip, like a full clip, and then another one in our pocket, and we'd start at like 30 yards or whatever, and we'd start like walking at the target, and you'd go through most of the first clip, and then you'd like rotate your gun, so then you were going from your optic on the top to like a red dot on the 45-degree angle when you tilted your gun, and you're just
ripping
flinging
rounds.
lead, just stuff flying everywhere. We've got some video of that in slow motion, and it's pretty much the coolest
It is.
footage
I'm sure that is.
I've
yeah.
ever seen. It's just like
You can see him flying.
America.
Chink, chink,
Yeah.
chink. Yeah.
So fun.
No, that's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing, guys.
Yeah,
It was a fun experience.
absolutely.
Shout out to Leupold. It was
Yeah.
awesome. And comment down below if you're a Mills or MOA, because this is a discussion that we need to have, because there's a right and a wrong answer.
All right. Well,
Okay.
that's a wrap, I think.
Perfect. And with that, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.